So last year, the OnePlus 12 was among the best value smartphone packages you can possibly buy. It even offered a little bit more bang for your buck over the Pixel 9 Pro XL. So where does the brand new OnePlus 13 sit? Well, here's everything you need to know about this flagship duo. A quick one though before we get deep into this video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'd really love to have you come join our growing community. I really like-minded people who love Android. It is greatly appreciated, and you'll get some good content, hopefully good content, later down the line. So I think I have to say it's easy to see that both the OnePlus 13 and the Pixel 9 Pro XL, they're large, well, the premium tier flagship phones. They have a lot of things in common, but it's in the execution I think that there's some major differences, as you can probably see already, which I think is great for consumer choice. What is notable is just how much of a blueprint the Oppo Find X8 Pro has provided, at least as a precursor to the OnePlus 13. It has ditched the curved sides for an overall flatter profile, which I think will be welcome by a lot of people who really dislike the OnePlus 12's design. The Pixel 9 Pro series has followed a similar design trajectory over its predecessor. It's overall a sharper, more angular hunk of glass and metal. I think 2024 was the year in which lots of brands decided that flatter equals more desirable, and to some people that will be the case. When we start to get into the minutiae of the designs of these devices and start to compare them, I think to me the most attractive is the textured back of that PU leather OnePlus 13. The Pixel 9 Pro XL does have a more, I'd say, a cold to the touch appeal, but it is obviously attractive in its own right. I will say, as I say, the PU leather is more approachable, it's softer. It does have other colorways available that ditch this for firm matte glass plates, which are more in tune with each other, if that's more your style. But I do think, without a case, this particular PU leather model feels superb. No matter which version you do prefer, it's also worth noting that the OnePlus 13 is almost 10 grams lighter than the Pixel 9 Pro XL, all while having a similar frame, and both of these having 6.8-inch displays. It's also great to see that OnePlus is still clinging to the alert slider, as this is a great way to switch between those modes quickly. One of the biggest gripes could be the positioning of those right-sided buttons on this device though. They're much higher in the chassis than the Pixel 9 Pro XL, which does lack, obviously, that alert toggle of its own. No matter which of the designs you do prefer, I think both of these phones feature genuinely stunning LTPO 120Hz OLED screens. There is a minor kicker, as the OnePlus 13 offers a marginally higher resolution, 3168 by 1440 pixels, and a whopping technical peak brightness of 4500 nits. At least in theory, this should result in sharper visuals and better outdoor visibility, but that said, it is an exceptional display on the Pixel 9 Pro XL, among the best in the industry. So realistically, I think when you see these side by side, there's not that much different. These are just two of the best smartphone screens, period. One thing also to note is that while both phones technically have flat panels, the OnePlus 13 has really small curves at the edges where the panel is attached to the frame. This means that only the workable area, or at least the area that you're going to use, is flat. The black bezels therefore look smaller, despite being almost identical to those on the Pixel 9 Pro XL. And this feels like a nitpick, but this has been a point of contention for lots of so-called flat screens, at least in recent years. Also, the OnePlus 13 comes with a dual IP68 and IP69 rating. It sounds like garbage, but all that means is that it can withstand high pressure jets of hot water alongside the common IP68 rating, which the Pixel 9 Pro XL has. Is it a gimmick? Well, it's not really clear, but it has further protection. That might be the reason for some of you are going to pick this up, at least if you work in environments or you're in environments where your phone is liable to be under marginally more intense water usage. Under the hood though, the OnePlus 13 is powered by that brand new and super powerful Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Elite chipset, while the Pixel 9 Pro XL relies on Google's custom Tensor G4 processor. And despite a fairly big gulf, at least in perceived performance and overall capabilities, it's important to note that these SoCs are very much capable of handling lots of demanding tasks. It's no secret that the Tensor lineup is underpowered when compared to the competition, and if you care about doing the most now, and definitely into the future, the Snapdragon 8 Elite offers better raw performance and will do for a long time to come. While not everyone is going to be a mobile gamer, there is only one device of these two we'd recommend, and it isn't from Google if you are a hardened mobile gamer and even someone who runs emulators on your device. One saving grace is that both phones do come with 16GB of RAM, ensuring smooth multitasking and app switching, at least for now. You can use a feature on Oxygen OS though that increases virtual RAM up to 24GB, which gives the newer handset another slight raw performance edge. Large RAM allocation and admittedly fine performance aside, even though the Pixel is well optimized, you can instantly tell that the OnePlus is a few steps ahead. Apps load quickly, the UFS 4.0 storage certainly helps, and improvements to Oxygen OS 15 make the experience just really impressive, given the number of major overhauls it has received since moving away from the clean Pixel-like builds that we do miss here on the channel. The truth is that the Oxygen OS 15 and the Android 15 experience you will have on the OnePlus 13 and the Pixel 9 Pro XL is quite different. There are lots of similarities, sure, under the hood, but Oppo has stuffed Oxygen OS 15 full of added functionality, and in many ways I have to say it feels closer to iOS than the Pixel, all while offering greater amounts of customization and tuning right out of the box. I think if you value software updates and support though, Google obviously offers that almost unrivaled 7 year support window for the entire Pixel 9 series. The OnePlus 13 can't quite match that, but it will get 4 full Android upgrades to Android 19 at the very least, and a total of 6 years of regular security patches, so you should be getting updates at the very least until 2031. The Pixel will also get day one updates for its entire lifespan, so if you do value updates, it might be one direction for you to go ahead and look. So while both phones sport impressive on-paper triple camera systems, there is a slight difference in how things are tuned that makes a bigger overall difference. The Hasselblad color tuning of the OnePlus 13 I think produces really color accurate images. There is a minor sharpness decrease versus the Pixel 9 Pro XL in lots of scenarios, but it's quite stark just how different the processing can be, as you can see from these sample images. The thing is, these are just both really competent camera systems, especially for flagship phones that are backed by specific tuning to produce images that are really unique to their respective setups. You'll need to decipher which you prefer before taking the plunge, but overall I have to say, at least as far as OnePlus is concerned, they've made great strides in recent years, and it goes toe-to-toe with the Pixel 9 series, which I must admit didn't expect ahead of time. On top of that, at least when we start talking about the camera, if you value lots of functions, the OnePlus 13 might be a good buy because it has numerous in-camera extras that you won't find on other phones. These include enhanced video modes and Hasselblad specific options like the X-Pan mode. Google's camera approach on Pixel has been more about owned functions rather than a wide feature set. What it lacks in modes, I think it makes up for in overall quality. That said, video is an area both phones are not necessarily particularly strong when compared to the rest of the market, but you can shoot up to 8K 30 FPS content if you wish on both of these, but video boost does make a big difference in low light scenarios for the Pixel if you are someone who shoots at night. As for the lifespan and the battery, well, the OnePlus 13 packs in a 20% larger battery than the Pixel 9 Pro XL at 6,000 mAh versus 5,000 mAh or thereabouts. Combine that with a marginally more efficient processor, and battery life I think is yet another area that the Pixel does lag behind. That's not to say the battery life is bad on Google's biggest flagship to date, far from it actually, it's really solid. It does get a little worse though when you start to consider the charging speeds also favour that newer device by another substantial margin here too. The OnePlus 13 is capable of 100 watt wired charging, provided you have a supported Super VOOC power brick, and 50 watt wireless charging with a supported charger. These come at an extra cost in many regions though for the first time, they're not bundled in with the actual device. The Pixel 9 Pro XL on the other hand only supports 37 watt wired charging and 23 watt wireless charging, which do lag behind the rest of the competition in the industry. So if you just want to know which is the right phone for you, well, both the OnePlus 13 and the Pixel 9 Pro XL, I think they're both exceptional flagship phones, but the OnePlus 13, it offers things like a marginally larger display by a very tiny amount, faster charging, that more powerful processor, the feature-rich Oxygen OS, and a lower $899 start price for all of that goodness. Despite some foibles of its own, the Pixel 9 Pro XL excels in camera performance, the software experience, the update cadence and longevity there. Is that worth an extra $200? Well, ultimately for most people, that could be enough. For many, I think the value proposition of the latest OnePlus phone definitely usurps Google once again this year, like it did last year with the OnePlus 12. The best choice for you will depend on your priorities and preferences. Over the past couple of years, I think OnePlus has fallen in lockstep with Oppo. Initially, that was a big concern, but the result is better smartphones. They don't compromise in as many areas as some of those older OnePlus phones. Does the price increase make it easier to stomach though? Well, you'll need to decipher that for yourself, but I do think the OnePlus 13 probably is going to be one of those bargain flagship phones that is for many people throughout 2025, and it's a really good start to the year, especially as this does this quite a lot cheaper than the competition. But let me know what you think. Which would you choose out of these two? I switch between the two quite regularly as I do testing devices here on the channel, but yeah, let me know what you think. Until next time though, thanks for watching, and I will speak to you later.